Hey, hello, good day. Welcome back to the Suburban Axeman, where we're going to be helping you keep the home fires burning, even if you live in the suburbs. I'm Scythe DeVoe, forestry management veteran, shade tree commissioner, and all-around tree care enthusiast. And in our previous episode, we showed you how to take your spring and summer deadfall and arrange them into one of three piles. One for kindling, two for branches and small logs, and three for your larger log segments, which are called rounds. Now, we'll be talking more about chainsaws in a future episode, but for right now, we're just going to assume that you have access to a chainsaw or you know how to use it, and that you will be able to take your deadfall and cut your large log pieces into segments that are 18 to 24 inches in length. This both makes stacking easier, also fits in nicely with the dimensions of a cord. It measures 4 feet by 4 feet by 8 feet, so you can see why 2 feet segments would be preferable in this case. So for now, we'll deal with the logical progression of moving it from wherever you collect it to wherever you're going to store it for seasoning or process it for splitting. The kindling and starter branches and twigs are obviously going to be the easiest to deal with. These can be snapped into pieces, say roughly about a foot long or less. This is going to enable you to stack them into a kindling teepee, which is one of the best ways you could start a fire in your fireplace. A wheelbarrow or even a wheeled storage bin is going to be much easier than carrying these bundles of kindling all around by the armful. Similarly, any wheeled apparatus is going to make things much easier to carry your logs from pile number 2 around. Make sure you toss your small logs into the wheelbarrow very gently, or you'll end up having what we had here, which is a blown out bottom of a barrow bin. Try saying that 5 times fast. You can even get a small log sling. It's going to be very helpful carrying around your mid-sized logs. This one is a wax canvas sling. They're not very expensive. They also tend not to last all that long, but they do help get the job done. Now, when it comes to moving the heavier log rounds from pile number 3, you can use a log wagon or even a conventional hand truck. Both will give you very good results. You can kick roll the various log rounds if they're not too off-round, meaning they have too many branches sticking out of them or a very irregularly shaped circumference. For log rounds that are irregularly shaped or even long segments, you can get what's called a cant hook. A cant is logger jargon for a log that has been partially processed into a rectangular shape. But don't let the name fool you. A cant hook can indeed help you move your logs. This is a cant hook. It's got a long handle, a tooth at the tip, and it's got what's called a dog hanging from it, which is really just a gaffing hook. It is identical in almost every way to a peavey, which we don't own. It's also named after its inventor. Peavey is identical to the cant hook in every way, except that at the tip, instead of having a leveraged tooth, it's got a very sharp point for poking and sticking a log. Either or both are going to be very effective at giving you leverage to help you roll whatever sized log you're likely to have on your property. Once you're done rolling your rounds and are ready to lift them onto a log pile or a chopping block or into a hand truck, you will not want to be lifting 30, 50, 80-pound logs and carrying them, even if it's just for a very short distance. It'll totally trash your back, sap your energy, and exhaust your muscles, all unnecessarily. Introducing the most underrated tool for moving or carrying individual log rounds. I give you the picaroon, also known as a log gaff, sappy, zap-on, hookaroon. Basically, it looks like something from a hideously medieval evidence locker from a Wes Craven or Alfred Hitchcock film. But it's an incredibly effective tool, often unknown and frequently overlooked, but it should always be a part of every suburban axeman's toolkit. It has either a long or a short handle, can be heavy or lightweight. It can be bought or even homemade. It has an incredibly menacing hook. Looks like the beak of some predatory raptor bird. You can strike down vertically on your log and pick it up like a suitcase, or you can strike horizontally and drag it like a sled. Just make sure if you're hitting it horizontally, your foot is in front of the targeted log round so that you don't deflect and send the pickeroon hook into your ankle. Also, generally, try to avoid dragging logs, especially if they're heavy, across a lawn. You can damage the lawn that way, but if it's a toss-up between damaging the lawn or your back, damage the lawn. You can use the pickeroon to grab, rotate, lift, lever, or move a lot of wood without ever bending over. You can even do that without actually touching the wood, negating the need for work gloves. And that can be handy. In closing, while all the tools we discussed in this episode are important from helping you get your wood from point A to point B, in terms of moving those heavier log rounds, the pickeroon does not always get the spotlight it deserves. Splitting implements aside, it's probably the most valuable tool in terms of energy saving and cost effectiveness that you're going to have in your Suburban Axeman toolkit. In the next episode, we'll show you a couple of demonstrations about the pickeroon's abilities before we move on to the tools and techniques you'll need for actually getting down to split that firewood. And after that, we'll build up to stacking that firewood. For now, though, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Suburban Axeman, keeping the home fires burning. If you did, hit the like and subscribe buttons for us. Check us out on suburbanaxeman.com. And of course, right here on this YouTube channel. So we'll see you there. Till then, I'm Scythe DeVoe. Be well and communicate. Right now, I got a split.